The Achaemenids had crafted a colossus, a sprawling empire whose growth and expansion knew no bounds. From the shimmering palaces of Persepolis to the Aegean shores of Anatolia, their dominion stretched farther than any before them, casting a shadow over the ancient world. But across the sea stood an upstart, fearless and determined and unwilling to allow the unstoppable force to infiltrate their culture. Hello, and welcome to Impactful Moments, where we explore some of the most, you guessed it, impactful moments in human history. In this video, we will discuss the Greco-Persian Wars, a conflict that shaped the destiny of empires and the course of civilizations. The Greco-Persian Wars, spanning from 499 to 449 BCE, was a pivotal clash in ancient history, pitting the seemingly invincible Achaemenid Persian Empire against the city-states of Greece. The Achaemenid Empire, a global superpower, stretched from the western fringes of Anatolia to the banks of the Indus River, and was characterized by both a centralized administration and diverse cultures. In contrast, Greece comprised a collection of fiercely independent city-states, Athens, Sparta, and Corinth, to name a few, each possessing distinct identities, such as a burgeoning democracy in Athens and a militaristic oligarchy in Sparta. In 499 BCE, tensions flared when Aristagoras, the head of the Persian-led Miletus, failed in his bid to annex Naxos for Persia. Fearing retaliation, he declared Miletus a free state, inciting other Greek Ionian cities to follow suit. This led to the Ionian Revolt, with Ionians seeking support from the Greek mainland, receiving aid from Athens and Eretria. Despite initially capturing and destroying the regional capital of Sardis and winning some small battles, the Ionian Revolt was eventually quashed by the Achaemenids, ending with the Battle of Lade in 494 BCE. However, it sowed the seeds of animosity between the two worlds. In 492 BCE, Darius I, the Persian king, launched a punitive expedition against Athens and Eretria for supporting the Ionian Revolt. The Persians routed and burned many city-states in the Aegean Sea before besieging Eretria. Fully expecting a quick victory over Athens as well, Darius sent a force that, while small on a Persian scale, greatly outnumbered the Athenian ranks. A Greek army of Athenians and Plataeans, led by Miltiades, met the Persians at Marathon, where the Greeks, familiar with the terrain, held a tactical advantage. According to legend, the Greeks also sent a forerunner named Phidippides from Marathon to Sparta requesting reinforcements, but was notified that they would only be deployed following a religious festival. The Greeks, using speed, a unique battle formation called the hoplite phalanx, and terrain advantages, charged the Persian army from the hills, decidedly defeating the Persian forces. The remaining Persians withdrew and sailed around the peninsula toward Athens, but were beaten there by the Athenian army, who prevented the ships from docking. They then turned around and headed back toward Asia Minor, ending the first Persian invasion. The victory at Marathon was a source of immense pride and self-identity for the Greek city-states. It acted as a rallying point, damaging the air of invincibility that the Persians had built, and served as foreshadowing to the resistance that the Greeks would put up later in the war. Darius had prepared a follow-up invasion, but was delayed by uprisings elsewhere in the empire, notably Egypt in 486. He died during the campaign, and Xerxes, his son, took the reins, returning to Greece about a decade after the battle at Marathon, this time with a much larger Persian fleet. The Persians met the Greeks at a narrow mountain pass at Thermopylae. Spartan king Leonidas led a small force of Greek allies against the overwhelming Persian invasion. Although compromised by a Greek informant named Ephialtes, the defense delayed a Persian advance into mainland Greece, allowing an Athenian evacuation. A similar Greek naval stand at Artemisium delayed the Persian navy, allowing Greek forces and fleets to relocate. The Persians proceeded to rout and destroy cities and towns, including a deserted Athens, throughout the Attican Peninsula. The Greeks, however, under the strategic leadership of Themistocles, had prepared for a naval battle and confronted the larger Persian fleet at Salamis. The Greek fleet, with its mastery of the local waters and with smaller, more agile ships, outmaneuvered a larger Persian fleet, handing them a crushing defeat in the Battle of Salamis. Xerxes then returned to Persia, leaving a formidable force led by Mardonius to finish the Greek campaign. After peace terms were rejected, Mardonius faced the Greeks at Plataea. Initially a stalemate, Persia attacked as they perceived Greek disarray. The Greeks outmatched the Persians, killing Mardonius. Emboldened by the news of victory at Plataea, the Greeks also achieved a naval victory at Mycale, ending the Persian offensive in 479 BCE. Sparta, no longer perceiving a Persian threat, returned home, but Athens formed a coalition called the Delian League to safeguard against future invasions. In a 30-year counteroffensive, city-states in Greece and western Anatolia regained independence. The conflict ended following a failed Greek attempt to liberate Egypt, and a truce was signed in 449 BCE. The Greco-Persian Wars ushered in a new era across both Greek and Persian societies. In the immediate aftermath, a wave of Greek pride surged. Victory over the seemingly invincible Persians brought about a newfound sense of identity across city-states, leading to defining Greek periods such as the Athenian Golden Age, a time of unprecedented cultural and intellectual flourishing. This era saw remarkable achievements in philosophy, drama, and architecture, with figures like Socrates, Aeschylus, and the construction of the Parthenon. However, the formation of the Delian League, initially a defensive alliance against the Persian threat, marked a pivotal shift. Over time, it transformed into a de facto Athenian empire, with expansionist ambitions that strained relations with the more conservative and isolationist Sparta. This led to the devastating Peloponnesian War, which shattered the unity born from the Greco-Persian Wars and caused significant disruption and bloodshed. On the other side, the war marked the end of Persian expansion. Although the Persian Empire continued to exist for another century, it entered a period of stagnation and eventual decline following the war, ending with their defeat at the hands of Alexander the Great. The Greco-Persian Wars had a profound influence on Greek political thought that still resonates today. The war's outcome greatly emboldened Athenian democratic ideals, strengthening the foundations of a system that was still in its infancy. It led to further developments in self-governance and liberty, laying the groundwork for political systems and thought that are still being refined. The war also stands out as one of the earliest well-documented conflicts in history, offering a wealth of detailed accounts of diplomatic interactions and military strategies. These records remain subjects of study in contemporary politics and strategy, contributing to our understanding of ancient warfare. However, it's essential to approach these sources with a critical perspective. The primary accounts, like those of Herodotus, may contain biases and embellishments, potentially distorting details, numbers, and memorable anecdotes, such as the famous marathon run. Therefore, they should be viewed through the lens of historical interpretation. In this light, the Greco-Persian Wars may not have been as one-sided as modern narratives suggest. We often focus on Greek victories at Marathon, Salamis, and Plataea, but the conflict had periods of Persian dominance and mission progress, even if they didn't achieve their ultimate goal. The Greeks saw the war as a pivotal moment, but the Persians might have viewed it as more of a setback than a resounding defeat. This dual perspective highlights the nuanced nature of historical narratives and the significance of considering diverse viewpoints. If you enjoyed this video and found it informative, please consider liking and subscribing to our channel. Your support helps us to continue creating captivating, impactful historical content. Thanks for watching.